Today on DC News Now, no longer a DMV first warn day, but it's still messy out there. Meteorologist Brittany Ward is tracking the clouds. Plus, advice from officials on staying safe in bad weather.
What I want to do is let the states run schools.
Then, President Trump is looking to shut down the Department of Education. We'll have the latest from the White House. We're recognizing amazing accomplishments during Black History Month. Meet the man who went from spending time in prison to being a successful business owner. And the big game in New Orleans is right around the corner. A sneak peek at some early commercials and security preps.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Meteorologist Brittany Ward joins us with the latest check on the forecast. And Brittany, earlier we had freezing rain. The question many have is that precipitation rolling out.
Yeah, you know, we are slowly starting to see those drier conditions, Mark, work their way into the DMV. That's going to be the trend as we head through the rest of your Thursday. That bulk of the precipitation slowly moving its way out of the DMV, but still going to be holding on to those cloudy skies as we head through much of the day today. So let's take a look at satellite and radar showing you the last 3 hours across the area. It was a messy start to our morning. Back off to the north and west, that pinkish color showing you that freezing rain making its way just north of Washington, D.C. It looks like some freezing rain also made its way into northern Virginia and clipped D.C. before it quickly turned over to rain, putting a pause on radar just to show you we are seeing mostly dry conditions across the area. Our friends just south of us out towards Lexington Park, St. Mary's County, still holding on to some light rain at this hour. But zooming satellite and radar out to show you that bulk of the precipitation finally out. Still seeing some leftovers, but that cold front will be approaching our area as we head through your evening. Notice drier conditions will be seen as we head through the rest of your day today. But visibility still down in a few locations, so if you are stepping out the door right now, make sure you take your time. You're down to a mile there in Woodstock. You're down to 7 miles there in Frederick. And overall, as we head through your evening, still going to be holding on to a few clouds. But Mark, we are tracking a bit of a warm up as we head into your Friday. So keep it here. We'll talk more about that forecast coming up.
Every day. Terrible. I knew it was going to be trouble. But ended up to be a nice ride so far. Just keeping up the speed limit. That's basically it.
Are you being alert about your surroundings?
Oh yes. All alert. Looking for the other drivers.
The weather definitely impacting road conditions earlier today. The rain is still coming down out there, so it's important to take your time. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Committee, in these conditions, you need to remember to slow down and increase your following distance. Avoid slamming on the brakes so you don't hydroplane or skid. And if you come across a flooded area, don't turn around and don't drown. Agencies around the DMV keeping an eye on the roadways. The Maryland Department of Transportation urging drivers to be safe. Shantae Felix with Maryland's Department of Transportation discusses what drivers should do if they find themselves in a skid or losing control.
Well, it's important not to panic, and each event is different. We always advise people not to panic, not to slam on their brakes, but we also have a number of those resources online, roads.maryland.gov, if you want to click in winter travel, and we have a bunch of advice for traveling in winter weather.
And Virginia's Department of Transportation also watching the roads. We also spoke to Alex Leggett with VDOT. Northern Virginia is about VDOT's it talks about the importance of the 511 app that helps you track the roads.
So it's great. You can actually check on all the area road cameras, which is nice. I was checking earlier this morning just to see if there's any kind of ice on the cameras themselves, give you a little idea of what you're expecting out there. But also, you can just check your commute. If you're heading, into DC, you can check the cameras, check the roads, make sure that they're clear. If there's any crashes, it will report them with denote a little red symbol out there.
And a heads up, make sure to inspect your car before heading out to ensure that it's safe to drive in these conditions. Well, in Virginia, a waterfront vigil in Alexandria for the victims of last week's mid-air collision. It's been more than a week since an American Airlines plane and the military helicopter collided over the Potomac River. And officials confirm all 67 victims have been recovered and identified. DC News Now's Max Marcella shows us what this service was about.
These 67 souls is heavy.
Lighting up the Alexandria waterfront by candlelight, dozens of people honoring the memories of those we lost a week ago.
Let it be a source of strength to each other, and may their souls rest in peace.
Congressman Don Beyer leading the vigil, others including Alexandria Mayor Aaliyah Gaskins remembering those who died and praising the work of the first responders.
Everyone around the world has now gotten to see what we in our community get to see every day, which is their bravery, their strength, their resilience, and their professionalism.
Those first responders leading everyone in prayer as they used the time to reflect.
Lord, may we find solace from our fond memories of those we lost.
And when we get to come together and see we're all hurting, but we're all trying to heal together, that means a lot.
Richard Zhang spent the evening thinking about one family in particular, the Zhou family. Eddie, just 16, and his parents died in the crash. Zhang says his children were friends with Eddie.
He was very active and talkative, and always tried to be the leader in the group.
He was a star skater and, by Zhang's account, a star kid, too. We've seen memorials across our area, and now we're seeing how closely people are holding on to the light of those we lost.
I feel very sad because the life is precious and short.
Our thanks to Max Marcella. And in downtown D.C., efforts are underway to remember victims of the crash, many of them members of the figure skating community. Capital One Arena now set to host a live figure skating tribute benefiting the victims' families and the legacy on ice.
I don't know if this makes it better other than to show the families that we really care. We can help the skating community to figure out what they're going to do to move forward.
Yeah, the event's set for March 2nd. Tickets are set to go on sale next week. All of the proceeds, again, all the proceeds go to local organizations supporting first responders and the families affected by the crash. Maryland Governor Wes Moore addressing Marylanders in his State of the State address, focusing on President Donald Trump's efforts to downsize the federal government and a looming $3 billion budget deficit. Governor is proposing a budget that includes higher income tax rates for those making $500,000 a year or more, and about $2 billion in spending cuts throughout the state government. Moore also says that efforts to downsize the federal workforce will impact jobs crucial to Maryland's economy. Governor described both the budget deficit and the new administration's first actions as two storms that have made landfall.
By a historic fiscal challenge, the likes that we have not seen since the Great Recession. And if that wasn't enough, we are now being tested by a new administration in Washington that sows uncertainty and confusion and chaos.
Moore says he still hopes to work with the new administration and Congress to deepen the partnership between Maryland and D.C. that has benefited our people across political ideologies. West Virginia General Assembly halfway through their legislative session. The Democratic-led State House boasting their success of passing several bills raising the minimum wage and banning assault weapons. Meantime, Republicans in those chambers are fighting to keep the car tax relief.
We're focused on our children, protecting them from the #1 cause of death, guns, and ensuring they receive a world-class education. We're focused on your pocketbooks, raising wages and lowering costs.
One of the things that we're seeing, I think, in the Democrats' House and Senate budgets is that takes out that car tax relief. So that's something that we're going to still have to be fighting for and hopefully ends up in the final budget.
Well, the state's legislative session ends February 22nd. Well, hundreds of USAID workers and supporters rallying outside the U.S. Capitol. The rally happened yesterday afternoon. This all comes as the Trump administration and DOJ are aiming to get rid of the agency. USAID provides humanitarian relief around the world. Workers of the organization have been barred from the office and are now placed on administrative leave globally. Many tell us the move is not good.
Horror, dismay.
USAID is preventing diseases like Ebola from arriving here in America. So if you think USAID should go away, you need to do your homework.
Well, Democratic Congress members saying that they are working to take legal action on the matter. And President Trump is eyeing plans to shut down the Department of Education. Many staffers there have already been placed on leave. And national correspondent Trevor Shirley has the latest.
President Donald Trump could soon begin winding down the Department of Education, arguing Washington has no business in education.
We're ranked at the bottom of the list. We're ranked very badly. And what I want to do is let the states run schools.
It's unclear whether President Trump would gut the agency through executive order or get Congress involved.
There are some people that say I could. I think I'd work with Congress.
The president has long advocated for school choice, allowing parents to use public money to send their kids to private or religious-based schools. The president's nominee to lead the department, Linda McMahon, supports that stance as well.
I told Linda, I hope you do a great job and put yourself out of a job. I want her to put herself out of a job.
Democrats called the plan absurd.
The president does not have the constitutional authority to do this.
Many also argue states with higher numbers of low-income families would be hit the hardest.
President Trump wants to take all of that away, snatching money from our public schools, snatching money from our teachers, snatching money from our families who have kids who need the help.
Well, coming up on DC News Now at noon, we're getting a sneak peek at some of the commercials that you can expect this Sunday during the Super Bowl.
And clouds are going to be sticking around for your Thursday afternoon, but we are tracking drier conditions. So keep it here. We'll break down that 7-day coming up.